It's Wytchtober Day 7, and we are already on the second week of this challenge. Today we'll be talking about religion, which can be a fundamental aspect of your world building. It shows the relationship with man and the gods of your world, how deities grant blessings and boons to those who uphold their faith, or how religion divides and causes awkward arguments at Thanksgiving. Anyway. On the continent of Vyrthgar, one religion has stood the test of time. The Church of Glass. This faith has its roots in the earliest history of the continent, back when polytheistic Norse-like beliefs dominated the land. The gods and goddesses of those early settlers were believed to be tied to the land itself, and the wild magics that roamed free during those early centuries. However, the native elves of Vyrthgar follow a different path. They worshipped a single deity known only as the Unseen. Unlike the old gods who demanded temples, idols, and sacrifices, the Unseen was silent and mysterious. Followers believed that the good in the world came from the Unseen's quiet, while the chaos was the result of humanity's own disorder. To reflect the Unseen's invisible influence, great churches of stone and glass were built. Thus, the first sanctuary of glass came into being in the first millennium. As time passed, the Church of Glass spread throughout the northern and eastern kingdoms of Europe. While the old pantheon of spirits and gods never completely vanished, the church grew into the most dominant religion, offering hope and unity, until the rise of the Imperium of Mages. The church allied itself with the Imperium, preaching that the mages were using their power to create a world where the unseen could be seen in everyone. This, of course, was the work of the mages of the Imperium, infiltrating the church and its clergy to spread their own message, and to manipulate the population into believing that the rise of magic was divinely sanctioned. This manipulation allowed the Imperium to gain greater control, using the church to legitimize their dominance over the continent. This led to growing resistance, both from within and outside the church. A secret faction, the Cult of the Unseen, rejected the ideas that magic was the will of the Unseen, believing that the church had been corrupted by the Imperium. Cult, noun, broken or refuse glass usually added to new material to facilitate melting and making glass. As more whispers of dissent grew among the populace, the church created the Order of Glasswardens, elite knights sworn to defend the faith and bring order to the land. These sworn were granted powerful boons from the unseen, but with these gifts came great physical and mental costs. For example, a sworn who devotes themselves to sight or vigilance may lose their physical eyes, replaced by hollow sockets that glow faintly. They can see beyond the mortal realm, but must be contented with the constant visions of the unseen. Or say a warden who draws his faith from a burning vengeance may have their chest marked by a glowing brand where their heart is. This would give them fiery magical abilities, but their body is always warm, and they suffer from an internal pain and fever-like symptoms. These paladins of faith were met with a mix of reverence and fear, but even so, children were offered up to the church to be inducted into the Glasswardens and to gain favor with the unseen. The sworn would grow in power, but only as they served those who gave them such power. The wizards and enchanters of the Imperium, responsible for these augmented warriors of faith, would experiment with transformational magics and infuse magical items of power into the sworn's body to give them their boons. These experiments, however, would often lead to shortened lifespans, genetic mutations, or mental instability. Some Glasswardens would snap and go missing for months, only to be found raising a cult of their own in the mountains, claiming to be a god and demanding strange rituals and sacrifices. When the Cratogorians rebelled against the Imperium, some Glasswardens sided with the rebellion, no longer loyal to the church that had scarred them. Factions like the Cult of the Unseen were soon joined by those few sworn that defied the new heretical church. After the fall of the Imperium, the Sanctuary of Glass was left fractured. Some still believed that the mages were divinely chosen by the unseen, while others rejected magic entirely as heresy. Now, different fractions of the church vie for power, each interpreting the will of the unseen in their own way. The sworn, bearing the marks of their faith, have been left to choose their own path. Some remain loyal to the church, others turn to new gods or darker forces like demons and fae for their power. and still more seek redemption or vengeance in a divided world. The role of the Church of Glass and the remnants of its power play a large part in the story of Wytchborne. The characters' choices, whether they follow the Church, reject it, or carve out their own beliefs, will shape their fate and the fate of Vyrthgar itself. Anyway, this illustration of a Glasswarden is looking pretty finished, so I think I'll wrap this up with a showreel of the art. Be sure to subscribe and follow me on social media to keep up with the world of Wytchborne. Thanks for watching, and now go make something awesome.